and welcome to Dice Shrapnel. My name's Jimmy. I'm going to be the regular game master for this group of miscreants. Hope you enjoy.
My name's Brett. I play Joshua Johnson. He is a 31-year-old white male who's approximately 5'10" and has a medium build with blonde hair and blue eyes. Brown hair, and blue eyes.
Hi, my name is Jake. I play the character Thomas Kahn. He's a mid-30s Vietnam vet, ham radio operator, substitute school teacher, kind of pudgy, somewhat smart, kind of geekish, nerdish, and tends to put things in his mouth a lot.
My name is Daryl. I play Ross Thibodeau. I'm 5'6", 240 pounds. I've got red shoulder-length hair with green eyes. Obviously, I'm a white guy, 26 years old, kind of tending towards gay.
I'm Mark. I play Trevor Smith. Appear to be a middle-aged white guy, dark black hair, wears glasses, still heavy set, kind of nerdish.
My name is Ian. My character is who also is a fiery veteran.
Kristen in Dallas, Texas, and I'm originally from up north, but then I went to Vietnam in service for a while, and I came back and resettled here, where I've lived happily and successfully with my wife.
Beverly Hills Cop, directed by Martin Brest, starring Eddie Murphy, Doug Wright, American test that would be available later that year. That also brings us to today, Friday, January 11th, 1985. The exploits of the previous night might be shrouded in mystery for some. A little bit of a recap might be provided to others. We pick up the following morning. Terry, one of the things that you noticed early on in the morning, going to take a look at the ring and the finger, you notice something odd about the finger. The temperature of the finger has remained constant, and you realize at this point that it feels almost rubbery. Hardly can contain yourself as you take the ring off of the finger. It pulls a section of rubber back, and you can see scales underneath on the actual finger. This was encased lizard finger? You're at home.
What's your character's name?
My name's Ross.
And mine's one.
Russ has got to see this.
Ross.
I am going to wrap it up in the kitchen towel. Oh, the Russes.
Okay. I can be there.
Yeah, what? Like getting all...
What?
What? Yeah.
What? Yeah.
I'm gonna cram her open his door.
Okay.
Okay, and my dog is... I'm going to pull back my dog a little bit to make sure he doesn't get bit.
Okay.
Ross, I got something you gotta see.
Okay, what?
Come here. Where's some good light?
And I'm going to say, Jesus Christ. And I'm going to flip on the overhead and take a look at what he's trying to show me.
I'm going to hold out a kitchen towel,
Okay.
and I'm going to unwrap one flap and unwrap another flap, exposing a severed human finger.
Okay. Who does this belong to?
That's not important. Look at this. I'm going to lift up the little flap of skin. You see that?
I'm going to take a closer look. All right, who does this belong to?
Well, obviously, like some kind of lizard guy. It's okay.
Do I understand anything about this?
This is totally a surprise because, last you had dealt with anybody, Gwen had an attempted break-in at her home. Her sister had freaked out.
Right.
Contacted.
And I went over with her.
You went over with Gwen, and you could call her Ellie or Eli?
Ellie.
Okay, Ellie, Elizabeth. Her sister Ellie was definitely freaked out, so you had decided to provide your services to help make certain if they came back that they would get a warm reception.
What time?
So you ended up leaving about 6 in the morning, making sure that
Okay, and
she
this is when he came over?
you're at your house. This is about 9 in the morning. He had a long night.
Okay, yeah. We need to call somebody else.
Hold on. I met this guy at Denny's. Don't worry, though. It's taken care of.
Okay.
He also had this. I'm going to show him the ring.
Okay, so on the ring face, that face of the coin, it makes up the frontage. Obviously not that big, but that is the pattern that is on the ring.
You ever seen this? Is this like some kind of, I don't know, like Nazi Navy stuff or something? Russian Navy?
I got another one.
Okay, he's got another one.
What do you think this means? And look at the finger! Denny's!
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, and then again, maybe I don't
Just
have another.
throw me
face.
that. Let me see.
Look, it's all starting to come together. So after we got the car high-centered, I met my ex-girlfriend, Sophia, which then led us to get kind of hungry and want to go to Denny's. But that's when we figured out that they'd stuck a brick that was beeping underneath my car.
Do I recognize this?
What is that? Some kind of like crazy thing?
I'm going to use this
For a roll on what?
Because of
That's
because I want to try to figure out what this...
that's gold.
Yeah, he wanted to use an automatic success for a
Oh.
roll in order to
Figure out what that
to
symbol is.
see what
Oh.
what would be appropriate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you were going to make a roll, the closest thing would be. Actually, we'll give you an option on that one. Go with conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Are you going to give me the?
What?
Are you
I
going to
just
give me
thought
the
something. You're going.
the token for the auto success, or are you going to roll for it? If you roll for it,
I'm
then
going to give you an auto success.
all right. Okay, that symbol you've seen in some books of history regarding the Illuminati, specifically the Illuminati associated with the Knights Templar, the French Knights.
Yeah.
It goes back to a rival Illuminati group.
Okay. And
Now, as far as what that rival Illuminati group is, The indication has been that it has gone, or it preceded Dice 2, I believe was the name for the group, D2. They were a group out of Italy
Okay.
that was a rival faction of the Illuminati.
Right. Okay.
They are often referred to as the Dark Brothers.
Okay. And I will tell him
What do you know about that?
what I know about that.
Wait, no, I've seen this before now. I recognize it now. That's like the Bolsheviks, the Reds, taking over the world. That was like their symbol. I know it.
I don't think so, but
It's gosh darn Ivan, I bet.
I still
You
don't
think he's mixed in with the Italians?
No, I don't think that.
Oh man, hold up. I gotta look. I'm gonna go look out his window. Can anybody follow me over here?
Here we go.
You don't see anybody.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Right? Do I know how deep this rabbit hole goes?
I'm gonna draw his shade shut.
Okay.
Look, Ross.
Yeah.
It's me and you. We gotta figure this out. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're coming. They already came for us once, but we showed them.
And it was a brick underneath your car, right?
It was beeping
It was beeping under your car.
at Denny's.
At Denny's.
It's okay, you're not in character right now.
I was like, oh, and I'm not
Wow.
even here.
Wow. I'm going to call you in because this is
My
way
partner would
too
be
deep.
interested in this if you would contact.
Hey, I'm going to definitely contact her.
Okay, who are you gonna call first?
I'm going to call Gwen. Hey, Gwen,
Hi.
check this out.
Check. I can't see through a phone.
I know. I'm just saying, check this out. You need to get over to my house as soon as you can. Yeah, we got some stuff to show you and tell you and...
Let me make sure my sister is okay before I just leave her
Okay, bye.
after what happened last night.
Okay, bye. And I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call him up. Hey, come over to my house, dude. Yeah, you have to
First of
pick it
all,
up.
Hello.
Hello. Get over to my house. I mean, is some next level
Hey,
crap.
Junior. Okay.
Would you come over,
I sure can.
please?
Would you be his neighbor?
Would you be my neighbor? And I'm gonna hang up, and I'm gonna say, okay, let's go out to your car, and I'm gonna go out to his car.
Stop! We can't go out there. They might see us. Shoot! What'd I do with the pillowcase?
Well,
Oh
that's-
no!
Hey,
Did I leave the pillowcase there?
yes, just what you need to do is you need to go in my house.
And the
My
paintbrush.
dog will help protect you. And I'm going to go out and look for this beeping under your car.
See if my paintbrush is there.
That's what I'm saying. I've got to see if this is... If all of this...
Hey, I gotta use your phone real quick, okay?
Hold off until I get back, okay?
You know, does Gwen have an Italian last name or Russian?
No.
Do you know my last name?
I don't know her last
We
name.
do know her name because she's a famous author.
Mitchell.
Yep.
Which, no, she's good.
That sounds like an assumed name, kinda.
Well, it may be. I don't know.
Sure it isn't Michelinsky?
It could be.
What do we really know about her?
Not much. I know I was over at her and her sister's place, dude.
We need to investigate her. A little more.
We will investigate her, but you have to stay here. Stay off my damn phone. My dog will protect you. I'm gonna go out and look for the beeping under your car, and I'm gonna do so.
You go out and his car isn't here.
And I'm gonna put this in the fridge.
Okay, and I'm gonna come back. I'm supposing my door is fucking locked.
No.
Okay, I'll just walk in. And I'll be like,
Because you weren't out long enough for him to shut and lock the door.
right.
It was where's your car? Your car's in the shop. You had to take the bus.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I don't know, dude. And I'm gonna call him up. And be
Ring,
like,
ring.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Oh, you know.
I got a question for you. Can you meet over at my house?
Yeah, I can be there in a few.
That sounds good. I got somebody who wants to talk to you.
Who's over there?
Everybody's coming over here.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
And I'm gonna try explaining to him that his car isn't here.
I know it's not. My wife's got it.
I know. That's terrible. We're gonna take care of it, okay?
Why would they have my girlfriend there? I don't get it.
Oh. Your wife or your girlfriend?
No, I'm not with her anymore.
He did say ex-girlfriend
Yeah, he
earlier.
did say it.
There was that guy in the office. Man, this is all coming together. This is getting wild, man. This is all messed up. This is
I'm
FUBAR.
gonna go ahead and spark my bomb.
Yo, give me some of that.
Trying to get on
Yeah,
the same wavelength.
There you go. Trying to get on the same wavelength as him.
Okay.
And I'm even gonna hand him, and maybe it'll calm him down a bit.
Same as good as that tie stick.
Wow, did we really go
That's
there?
that Mexican ditchweed, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm good for.
They're in Texas. What do you expect?
Right. You want some Mexican dish weed? Hey, the delivery boy's here. Hey, do you have Mexican dish weed? I'll open up the door and ask you that.
Do I look like I have Mexican?
No, come in, check this out. And I will show him.
It's in the fridge. Oh, you're showing him the
ring.
The ring. Okay.
He doesn't know that something got put in his fridge yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut the door behind him and usher him in and lock it.
Okay, yeah.
Is there like an octopus fan club going on here?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
okay.
No, and I will explain to him what I know, which isn't very damn much.
Okay. So
He was saying it might be the Italians.
check this
I thought
out.
the Illuminati was all one group.
Okay.
You're telling me that there's two different ones now?
Now I want
French?
you to check this out.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna point over to him. I'm gonna say, show him what you brought me.
Oh yeah, come here. Remember? From Denny's. I'm gonna get it
Out
out.
of character.
Having such a hard time staying in character on this.
Right.
I remember Denny's.
So
I
look
don't
at
think
this.
I'll ever forget Denny's.
Look at this.
Well played.
That was not on the menu.
I'm gonna pull the skin back and reveal the reptile flesh. Remember what happened after we aced them dudes?
Right.
What happened?
You got
Thi-
his finger.
But with this was preserved, so what the hell, man? This is FUBAR. Totally FUBAR. What are we up against? Italian lizards?
French lizards by the sound of it.
They make the best handbags.
Oh man. Oh man.
And I'll open up the door again. Hello, Gwen.
Oh, y'all look like you're doing crazy stuff. I don't know.
Shut and lock the door now.
Yeah, we'll shut and we'll
You gotta
latch
see
the
this.
door.
I'm assuming I see the bong and everything, and I'm like, no.
Give me a perception check. Roll IQ.
Is it like
Well,
an official bong or did
Do
you
I
make it
get
like
a
a
bonus
rain
since
gauge?
I know that there's
Made it like, yeah,
Crazy and
it's
weird.
not an official
No.
one, no.
No.
So you see a rain gauge with smoke coming out of it.
perception? What do I have perception?
IQ.
IQ? 6. I made it on the dot.
Okay. You don't initially notice it, but then you start smelling something vaguely like skunk. You're like, oh.
Hey, look
Okay.
at this.
And he shows you a ring.
He's already tried to show her the finger.
What? Oh.
Bah!
Yeah,
Look
look
at
at the
that.
ring first.
Hold up.
I got that from Denny's. They were after us, and we didn't have a choice. We had
Do
to do
I
what
see
we
the
did.
reptile skin, or is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it back.
Okay.
Feel it. Feel it. It's weird. You too. Remember?
My character actually might
Okay.
because lizard underneath human skin. That's
It's
sci-fi. That's
still
that's
feel the
interesting.
consistency. It's like some kind of synthetic material.
That is definitely rubber. Yeah.
And
Okay, now
I offer you a hit.
And my character is gonna immediately be like, no.
I'll take hers. Give it here.
Okay, here you go. And I answer the door again. Hey, how's it going?
The geese fly north at the south of the winter.
Huh?
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna usher him in, and I'm gonna shut the door and lock it.
Okay. Would my character
Yeah, we're all
potentially
getting
know anything
stoned.
about this?
I'm sorry?
Would my character potentially know anything more about this?
Nothing more, and that would be if you make your roll, you're going to get the same result each.
Terry, are you
Unless
telling
you
these
get a
guys
critical
about
success.
the
Yeah.
folks and
And the freebies don't
Menace
count for
at Denny's?
criticals.
Yeah,
I
I
was
will tell her.
Okay.
And what was it? What would the roll have been?
The roll is going to be against conspiracy theory.
Which I have conspiracy. Yeah, I do have conspiracy theory.
A critical success, you might end up getting more information than what he already told you.
It's not gonna be critical.
Okay, yeah. You already knew about that symbol. It is very rarely referenced in the Illuminati related texts. Most everything has avoided talking about that and is focusing more on current slash Bavarian style Illuminati.
So I'll state this is not a very well known symbol in the Illuminati community,
Yes, we know.
but most people tend to avoid it based off of my research.
All right,
Yeah.
Terry, what have you
Yeah.
told these guys already?
I'm gonna hand him over the ring so he can look at it too.
I've seen it.
You have?
Well, you hadn't seen the night before. He didn't show you necessarily
Oh,
what the ring looked like.
Oh,
You
is
saw
this
that
what
he
you
had-
took off of them?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Remember
Okay.
with the
Okay.
bolt cutters?
Yeah, I remember the bolt cutters. Trust me.
My character's gonna look. What the? I'm gonna look at this character and ask him because he's the one with the most common sense and direct.
Right.
What happened last night?
Tell me about that badass move I did with the bolt cutters.
Can you show us
In the
for
car.
5 minutes so he can tell me what happened?
So
And the Grand Slam breakfast.
A Denny's.
I've already heard you guys ate at Denny's. I need to know the
Just-
details.
Quick detail on switch. Mark's character was there with us too.
Yeah.
Mark's character. Okay.
Yes.
we went to look at this demolition derby place. Somebody got us high centered, and somebody else found one of their long lost loves. We got a tour of the facility. We found a camera that was hooked to somewhere else, met some German, and on our way back decided we should go to a Denny's to have something to eat and kind of talk about what was going on. Realized we were being followed, and it really went south from there.
Okay.
Tell them
They
they bugged the car.
They bugged the car. The car was bugged. We don't know if they were the ones who bugged it specifically. Pretty good indication that it was them, but we were unable to ask them any questions because their heads exploded. And
What?
Kind of
Their
reminded me of
heads-
the sniper shot.
Okay.
blew up.
I got one question about when you were at the demolition derby. Did you guys have an opportunity to grab any of the radio things so I could check for fingerprints or anything like that?
We were being watched too closely for that. We were given a tour by the security guards.
But they did have broadcast equipment.
Yes.
And it was homemade. It wasn't manufactured by anybody we could track. It was somebody who made it themselves. And we're pretty sure it's being run by Terry's theory is an East German spy, but the guy was guy was definitely German.
Does the name Colin Holthouse mean anything to you?
Does it? No. I can't remember if that was remotely familiar to the name that I had sent you.
Well,
No, it isn't.
he was the lead security guard there, and he made it very clear that he didn't want us looking at these blueprints that he had.
Ah.
And so anyway, harkening back to their heads exploding, somebody decides to go crazy with some bolt cutters and get this nice finger that you see before you.
The blueprints were for the bathhouse.
Ah.
Their heads blew up, and
Caught up the incinerator, right?
the bodies caught fire.
The only reason I got that is because that bolt cutted this thing off.
Yes.
That was an important tidbit that their bodies caught on fire.
Yeah. Oh.
But
Hey.
they were tracking us with a mobile transceiver,
It wasn't.
and I was able to pull it out of the car.
Of course, the one time I don't go with you guys for the stupid stuff is when everything goes crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely not your run-of-the-mill.
Are you in on it?
Nazi cyanide pill.
You think I would have missed out on being there if I was in on it?
I don't know. I think it's a little funny that you and him weren't there. Especially when we needed some backup.
My sister was freaking out because someone tried to break into our house.
Oh. Did you
Well,
figure
wasn't
out who
us.
it was?
Did I ever figure out?
Did you ask?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Did I figure out?
Give me an IQ roll.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with an IQ of 14.
14. Okay. So you asked for a description of the guys, or however many there were. There were 3 guys, 2 white, 1 black, just like in the vehicle. They all had military-style cuts.
Just like the guys.
And
2 guys, shortcut.
your sister swore that one of them had something wrong, like pink eye, because one eye was just really, really red. And it looked like it may have been injured because it looked like a cat's eye. It had a vertical slit look to it.
And now hearing that and then seeing that finger, I'm like, I'm going to assume it was people with similar things like this because she described one of their eyes as being.
Did your sister see a vehicle?
She didn't. She only saw the people trying to come in.
I wonder if it was the same people.
Did you guys damage an eye?
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean,
I wouldn't say we did it, but
not just an eye. I mean, their heads exploded, so that's both
I was
eyes.
more asking if people 3 had gotten away, or I guess
No,
they would
nobody
have.
got
Oh,
away.
they didn't get away.
Those
no
3
one
would-
escaped.
Those 3 probably came after you guys after attempting to get to my sister.
Because the guys that followed us to
Or my
Denny's
house.
looked exactly like the way you guys described the people that was at your apartment.
It could be a separate group, though.
Well, it
no,
could be.
There's no saying that it was the same
Could be.
group.
As long as they're not.
Those
Oh,
three.
what's that thing that they've talked about in the sci-fi magazines? Some of the movies. Clones. That's it. I don't know if that's a thing yet, but I've seen it in popular science, so it's possible.
So, did you guys ever notice anything different about your houses when you got home? I'm trying to figure out if my house was the only one targeted.
I have not searched or detected on my own.
I was
told
having
it
too
was.
much trouble sleeping after watching 3 people's heads explode and then get on fire.
Right. And then I called you. So.
Okay, so as of right now, I'm going with the assumption that my house was the only one that they had attempted. But while we're here, since you guys mentioned that the vehicle was bugged, maybe we should search around since you weren't here at all.
Yeah. I'll search around.
Okay, doing a search of the property to see if there's any
And
bugs.
since it was my idea, I'm
Was your
gonna
dog
help.
home by itself?
Yeah, my dog
What?
was by itself, so
Right.
You sure it's your dog?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is my dog.
Call
Okay.
So, hold up.
Call his name.
Yeah, I call his name.
Go ahead and do that, then I'll say this. You're doing your bug search, and then I've got something else.
Well,
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
helping with the
how are
bug
you
search.
planning on searching for the bugs?
Well, the walkie-talkie thing seemed to work pretty good, so
We can do that.
AM radio. It's
Okay.
a portable AM radio.
Okay, give me an electronics operation roll.
Want me to do it?
If he's asking you to, or if you're going to go ahead and grab his transistor and.
I'll help.
I
Okay.
have it too.
'Cause
Please
that's
do it.
Okay, so.
Oh, I failed miserably. How the
So-
hell could I do that?
I had said that I was going to help. I was just looking around. I rolled a 2, 4, 6.
So a 12.
No, I rolled a 6.
Oh, you rolled a 6 total. Okay.
So,
So I just was looking around with my eyes.
I rolled a 14 with a check of 15, so
Okay. I'm sorry, Rick. What'd you roll again?
a 14.
A 14 with a
check.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. And you got?
I got a 12 for a check of 15.
Okay.
So I'm good to make electronics operation.
Yes. His home has been bugged.
Okay.
You find 2 bugs. You find a bug, plus what remains of a trank dart that it looks like they had tried to dispose of, that had been used on the dog, but they didn't get all of the dart removed from the property.
Sweet. I'm going to
Okay.
share the dart with the group.
I'm gonna say.
Hey, can you do you know anybody at the hospital that could run a test to see exactly what this stuff is made of that's in this thing?
Probably.
Might be handy.
Chemist.
Huh?
I have
Yeah,
to-
we could have Doc.
We've got a chemist.
I'm a chemist.
I know we've got a chemist.
Got 2 chemists, technically
I was gonna
speaking.
say,
Yeah.
I've got chemistry too.
3, and it's a question of having access to the equipment.
Wait,
that's why I suggested the hospital.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I'm curious. There are 3 bugs that you have found. It doesn't mean that you have deactivated them.
No,
True.
well,
I don't think.
did you say if I had seen any or?
Yes, you found 2 as well. There have been. There were a grand total of 5 in the property.
Heck. I'm glad I had that idea. But so, how do we want to dispose of these? Crush them, toss them, shush in.
You don't talk about the bugs.
Yeah, fight.
I
You
walk
don't
over.
talk about Fight Clubs.
I'm gonna kind of
Motion.
let's go to the backyard.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we take him to the backyard.
You take the party of people or the bugs.
Leave the bugs in the
Leave the
house.
bugs in the house.
Take the
We
group
go-
to the backyard.
So, football huddle.
Okay, going out in the backyard. Football huddle.
Yep.
Let's
Okay,
take
go.
bugs to our advantage. We can feed it about our actions and activities, because we don't know who's listening. It could be the lizards. It could be the freaking Illuminati. It could be the staff from Denny's. It could be anybody.
The problem with problem with that is I kind of loudly announced that we discovered them.
Yep.
I don't think she's a spy.
Wow.
If she is, she's a terrible one.
Right. Since she announced straight up that we found them,
Mm-hmm.
I get a glass of water, and I'm gonna be like, all the way around.
Going to all the places that they were pointed out as being.
Yep. And I'm just gonna drown them.
Okay. Yeah. One was in a light. One was in a phone.
Right.
One was in the bathroom, attached to the light fixture there. Most of them were in some sort of light fixture or
Right.
electronic device already.
That's
Like
what
you
I'm
in the
gonna
backyard with
Drowning them.
Give me the glass of water.
do. I'll give him the glass of water.
I'm gonna grab him and take him with me. Do you think we can find a part number off of any of the components and find out who it was sold to?
Whispering.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I can probably do that.
And then we can backtrack where the bug where it was sourced to, since you're a
We
supplier.
can find out what stores sell them and
Yeah.
what kind of distributors work with those kind of people.
That's what we'll do then.
Okay.
So,
I can tell you that they're not very super long range transmitters by the makeup of them.
Which means that they probably have someone who are semi-close, right?
Somewhat, yeah.
Well, one would think.
Probably within a 3-block radius.
Okay. Perception check. Seeing if any
Are you going to drive
vehicle-
around
Drive?
3-block radius? Is what he's just said. So that would be a case of driving around to see anything that looks suspicious in that radius. And you
We
don't
just
know the
discussed-
neighborhood necessarily.
No, I don't. Plus, since we just discovered and they heard us to discover and dispose of them, they probably zoomed off.
They'd probably beat feet.
I was more just going to see if I noticed any cars driving off fast or anything
Gotcha.
initially.
Checking out the window?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 16. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, you
That was
definitely
panicky.
you definitely did not see anything. So, where are you going from here?
Well,
Well, now we know that this location's safe as far as being observed. For right now, obviously they know that this has been bugged.
They bugged one place.
It's safe to say that the rest of our places
Yeah,
are.
we need to.
mine might not be because my sister discovered them. But I probably want her to double check. But they didn't anticipate her being home.
Regardless, we need to sweep
Yeah.
everybody's houses.
Yeah.
Maybe not be so verbal if we do find something,
Yeah, lesson learned.
because, like what Terry was saying, is we can use that to our advantage.
They didn't know what
Set
that
traps, disinformation, several different things.
We should
Definitely.
also periodically recheck for them now that they know that we're suspicious of it.
Yeah.
I definitely would make sure your radio area is clear because I know you're going to
Absolutely.
frequent that. And
Well, and what I can do is I've got enough equipment that I can make a simple bug detector for everybody to have at their residence. So it would make things a little easier to look for things on a periodic basis.
As far as that goes, you could go to Radio Shack to buy an EMF detector. They're only like $25.
Yeah.
okay. Well, now they know everything you guys have told us. Do you
If
still
it's the
have
same people.
Do you still have the board up at your house?
Yeah.
So if they bugged your house, they probably saw a board and maybe
If
the
they bugged
pictures
my
of it.
house, they saw the board because that's not really a hidden thing.
So then they probably know everything we know.
More than likely.
Who,
Kind of starting from ground zero again.
I say we try to get back in touch with the mayor to find out what he knows.
Ask him if he knows why we were bugged.
Show him the coin, or the ring, excuse me, and see if he recognizes the symbol, if he knows anything about lizard people.
You were there last
Denny's
night, so
workers.
he was wanting us to
Denny's
get
workers.
fingerprints and all that stuff to figure out who was behind it. We weren't able to do the fingerprints because I wasn't able to.
If
We've
you
got
look at the
one.
finger, there's no print on it.
No, there's print.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have the one
that a
finger
fake
that we
print?
can give to him. Not give.
There's a print.
Okay. We've got a finger to use
Yeah.
then.
The problem is we don't know if they were behind the radio thing or not.
No, but it's connected somehow.
Possibly.
We've got 2 other leads still to investigate.
The
Veterinarian.
The what?
The veterinarian.
Yep. That was the one that was just Dr. Shane Volbach.
Wobach.
Is that some German?
And then we got another one that I just got a hunch on. That's going to be some second story work.
But we do need to contact the mayor and tell him what we had, even though it's not concrete.
Don't forget, we've got the monitoring equipment that we pulled out of the car that we can de-engineer and see if we can get any, like you said, serial number, part numbers off of anything like that.
Yep.
Would you like to be the one to call the mayor this time, or should I still be the contact person?
I think he probably knows you the best and is most comfortable with you.
Probably.
Okay, what time is it?
He showed up at 9. It's about 9:45.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess we'll be calling the mayor's office and giving the code.
Man, I am ripped. I could really go for some breakfast.
Okay.
How about we go to Denny's?
No.
Wait. That's a bad idea, ain't it?
Seems like something happened there.
Okay, I'm gonna call the mayor, and since we're all in this room together, we all can tell me what I need to update him with. Not all at once.
I think we should just ask to meet him in person.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay. Calling.
Okay.
Mayor's office. This is Dolores.
Hi, Dolores. It's Gwen. I was calling to ask. Where is it?
Looking for
Have
his
you
name.
seen the dog with the blue collar?
I have. Hold for a moment.
Okay.
There's a series of clicks, and then the line is picked up. This is the mayor.
It's Gwen. Are you able to meet sometime today to discuss what all we have found? Because we don't want to discuss it necessarily over the phone.
Yeah, that will probably be best. I can plan for an extended lunch hour. Can you be here by 11?
11? I believe we all could. Are we meeting at your office, or are we meeting somewhere else?
Yeah, just come on down to City Hall. We'll meet at the office.
Okay.
Dolores gonna take you through to the side entrance.
Okay.
Just make certain that you tell them the same thing you did when you made your phone call.
Okay. Sure thing. We will be there at 11.
Indeed, and he hangs up.
Okay. So we're meeting at his office at 11, and we just need to remember to say, have you seen the dog with the blue collar?
Okay. Good stuff.
So,
In the
Yeah,
meantime,
it's pretty
I
close.
suggest Waffle House.
Sounds radical, man.
Yeah, let's do that. I got the munchies.
maybe that will
I
help
could
get you guys sobered up enough so you
definitely
won't be high when we're talking with the mayor.
Use some coffee.
I'm just riding some tasty waves
Right.
Uh-huh.
and cool buzz, and I'll be fine.
Okay. So,
Righteous.
well, I don't want you guys driving while you're high. Who am I driving around?
All of us, dude.
I don't know if all of us can fit in my vehicle.
What do you
It would
have?
be a type. I have.
Oh, fine,
Do you have a
man.
sedan?
Compact.
I mean, it depends on the size of everyone.
Do you have
Oh.
a sedan?
I have a 1980 Dodge Aspen.
Oh yeah,
We can all fit.
we can
now.
squeeze in that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. All 5 of you can fit in that.
Plus some.
I call shotgun.
Okay, so
Shotgun.
I'm driving because I don't need these two trying, especially since that one wrecked his last vehicle he drove. But
Kind of like a
before
Corvette.
we drive off, so you guys found
Dodge Aspen.
It's a coupe.
a blueprint. for the bathhouse?
There are
they
two.
did it.
There's a four
We know
door
who
style.
has them.
I know because I had one.
Yeah, on the
He
sedan.
rolled them up
Yeah.
before we could get a good look at them.
Okay.
We know that
Try the
there's
coupe mounts.
monitoring equipment at the demolition derby. We now know that there are the lizard people watching us.
And there people with a ring.
And exploding heads that catch on fire.
What was the
Sounds like it could be a band.
Right.
Exploding heads
what
catch
did
on
the
fire.
symbol mean again for the ring?
It's a symbol for the Dark Brothers.
Dark Brothers. Okay.
The
So you're
Are
telling me this is
Italian.
like an extremist version of the Illuminati? A faction of the Illuminati?
Possibly.
If you could make a history roll, you could probably have a little bit more information about what they are noted for doing.
Oh,
Nope, I missed it.
I made it. I was one die off from making a
Critical.
success.
I have history.
Did you make it by more than 10?
Let's see. There's no.
Okay.
No, my check is 15 and I got a 7. So.
Is there any penalty on this?
No, straight history roll.
I made it.
Okay. There were links to this group possibly trying to have assassinations done, and links to trying to get the Italian government switched over to a communist-style government.
Oh, she's a Bolsheviks.
Go figure. Commies.
And yes, they were definitely associated with military conflict, in particular in Italy. And the group has been noted as being active as late as the 80s, or the 70s, when it was determined that a branch or an offshoot of it was still trying to have regular membership to its group, to include high-ranking members of Italian government.
Okay. So
Out of character, that would be the Red Brigade in Italy, which was the 70s communist push.
They were associated with the Red Brigade. Yeah.
I remember that. I mean, I would,
Yes. You remember that from history.
yeah, I
Yes.
was like 5.
okay.
Yes.
So now that I've written down these details, so I don't forget them.
One of the individuals that was most prominent was a mattress salesman.
What's that?
I made NATO a little nervous.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that I've gotten all this documented, I'm going to usher everyone to my car. First, before we fully do it, you check to see if car is.
Bugged.
I'm going to
So
say it
you
before we
want me
leave the
to
house. So do your scanner.
Exterminate any critters in the car.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a spider. Okay. No. So checking. Give me
Yep.
electronic software.
I made it.
Good.
It is free of bugs.
Okay. So everyone hop in. I'm driving. Which Waffle
Shotgun.
House are we going to? You already called shotgun. You beat it. You
You
missed
said
it.
bitch.
Right. And then,
Damn it. I hate sitting on the hump.
No, you guys are.
He was wanting to make certain that he was not, Oh wait. Now, there's two different styles of seating
It
for.
was a 4-door.
Yeah, with the 4-door, there was still, you had the possibility of a bench seat in the front or bucket seats in the front.
I have
So-
no idea which version we gave me.
Okay, we will go with.
More common is going to be buckets in the front and a bench in the back.
Yeah.
I had
Well-
one that was bench and bench.
What's that?
That's
4-door, you.
Yeah,
A sedan, you usually have bench and bench.
I remember because
you have.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
the
true.
coupe you'd
Well,
have
we
the
were basing my car off of yours.
yes. So
Okay,
and
so if
with
you
this
have
roll,
bench-
yes, you have bench and bench, so you can actually reasonably fit 6 people in the car. It's going to be cramped, but it's doable.
But we have 5.
You have 5, so 2 in the front,
I
3 in
need
the
all
back.
room. So
So,
you 3 in
Yeah.
the back. Bye.
I get to sit on the hump.
Yeah, he's in the middle. All right. Off you go. Grabbing some Waffle House first.
I guess, because everyone's saying they're hungry and we need to sober them up before we go into
I've been up all night long. I would really just like some coffee.
We'll fold down that little crappy ashtray that's in the back of the seat.
The back of the seat?
Yep.
Or was it on the door?
The model that she's talking about, it had them in the door, but there was one in the middle of the
back seat.
What
as
is
well.
it you guys are doing?
Ashtray. We're smoking cigarettes.
My character's going to ask you guys not to smoke in her car.
We're not smoking cigarettes.
It was funny, dude.
Put them out or you're walking.
Out the
Thank
window.
What a Buzz Kilroy.
And this would have been, it didn't have power windows.
It was a weird thing of etiquette back then, though. Unless you were like super staunch anti-smoking, if somebody smoked in your car, you didn't say anything about it.
Yeah. You just...
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it was an etiquette thing back then that people that they smoked in your house, even if you didn't want them to, it was kind of a.
Oh.
you
My character
provide-
doesn't
If
care
you
about
saw,
that. You don't do
if
it.
there was ashtrays,
It wasn't until the 90s that
people
it was
took
okay.
it upon themselves to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you saw an ashtray or something that could be improvised as an ashtray.
Cup.
Can.
Cam,
Yeah.
Daryl.
Okay.
Okay, so going to the Waffle House. Are you discussing anything further at the Waffle House, or are you just getting food and then
Food
moving
and
on?
heading.
Food, lots of coffee. Off you go.
Terry, I know this isn't Denny's, but we need to keep our eyes open.
You're right. I'm gonna drink some of my coffee and I'm gonna take a lap through the parking lot, smoking a cigarette.
Okay, and you're just walking, lapping, not jogging, lapping, right?
Right.
Okay, just double checking.
That's what I meant.
Just that's what
It's
I
not
figured,
a
but I
cocaine
wanted.
lace cigarette.
Right?
We didn't do coke. We
Right.
just had some weed.
Right? Just double checking. See exactly, ex-military, doing a lap.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just gonna take a walk around, looking for out-of-state tags or anybody just hanging out in their car.
Okay.
Groups of
Go ahead and
three.
give me a roll.
What is that under IQ?
IQ, yeah.
10. My IQ's 13.
Okay. Nothing in the parking lot with the exception of one out-of-state tag, and it's an Oklahoma tag.
That's
Reasonably close. Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna come back in. I'm just working it clear.
There's
Syrup. Pass me the syrup.
Yeah, no problem.
there was a family of three that obviously looks touristy. You're expecting that they're the ones from Oklahoma.
Okay. We're going to smoke, drink coffee, and eat waffles.
Right.
Well, keeping an eye on time so we can get there at 11.
Dude, are these not the best waffles ever?
Good stuff.
Ever.
All right. Meal's
Anyway.
done. Heading on. Are you doing any more sweeps before actually leaving?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anytime we leave the vehicle.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead and give me a check.
And it failed miserably.
You did not find one.
No.
Okay.
And I will go ahead and use this.
The reroll? Oh, boy.
That bad.
Already?
And
It's IQ.
No, it's electronics op.
Oh, he's doing
Yeah.
Okay.
He is doing a check to make certain that there are no bugs. Man, I got a
And-
bad feeling about how you checked. I'm gonna double check. Yeah,
Can I use this, or can I still use this?
that's not for that. That's inspiration. You could use that.
hey, I
for-
made it right on the money.
Okay.
Right on the money.
So, get to you here in a second. Well, actually, no. I'll tell you now. Don't find anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Inspiration tokens are used to get an idea of something that you might
Okay.
want to do in the future, or a lead that you
Gotcha.
may have overlooked that your character probably wouldn't have overlooked.
Okay. I was thinking more of them than what.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So you arrive at City Hall. Takes you about 10 minutes to traverse from the parking lot up to the office. Dolores is still sitting at the same desk you saw her sitting at last time. She looks up. Yes, can I help you?
Hi. It's Gwen again. Have you seen the dog with the blue collar?
I have. Hold. She puts up a sign, back in 5 minutes. Grabs a cup of coffee, pours a little bit more on top of it, and says, "Follow me." Takes you down through a hallway. Now, as you're going in, you notice that there is a guy replacing water barrels, the purified water containers. The Mulligan Man. The water looks important.
Okay.
Looks what?
Important.
Okay.
He knows this, not anybody else. The Mulligan Man, who is replacing the water there, the purified drinking water in the dispensers, looks nondescript, and he doesn't look important. It's just
Now-
that the water does.
Can I ask the secretary, is that your normal guy that does your water?
Well, technically we kind of have 5 normal guys, but yeah, he's one of them. Yeah, that's Henry.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't look important. The water does.
I understand.
Okay, just making sure. If you'll follow me,
Okay.
walks down a hallway, gets to a section of doors that a couple of them say janitorial supplies, and she opens up one of the janitorial supply doors. Has you go inside, shuts it, and then pushes a button that causes a bookshelf to slide over on a mechanical armature, and there's a door directly behind it. She opens up the door with a key and lets you in.
Is this room secure?
Most assuredly.
Okay. Did you guys happen to take a look at some of the?
She locks the door and takes off.
Okay. I'm talking to these
Okay,
guys.
just making sure that you guys know that you are by yourselves at this
Okay.
point.
That's why I asked if the room was secure.
Yes.
Did you happen to notice the water that guy was swapping out in the dispensers?
Looks like
pretty normal
normal
water,
purified water.
Now, to me, it reminded me of the water that came down with the frogs.
What?
What are the you
That's
licked?
an interesting.
Yes.
As in the slimy, icky? Or was it slimy?
It wasn't
No.
slimy. It was just water. But the question was, what was in the water?
When we're leaving, grab a sample.
Well, I think we need to let the mayor know.
Well, yeah. Or what?
No, we don't.
I think we
No.
should verify before we confirm with him.
Okay.
Because we don't need to cause panic if it's unnecessary.
Well, it's true.
We don't need anybody panicking here.
We can state that with concern because it looks similar to something.
And at this point, the door on the other side of the room opens up. Now, this room that you're in, it has a large conference table with 12 chairs around it, and then has the one other exit. That exit leads into a bathroom that is attached to then the mayor's office. So he came through the bathroom to get into this room.
Okay.
He is now standing here, obviously.
Is there a dispenser in this room?
No,
Water dispenser?
there is not. There's a pitcher of water in a clear container at a separate table that also has a bunch of donuts and cookies.
Does it look normal?
No. it looks important as well.
Okay.
Was it normal executive conference room?
Kind of, yeah. There is also a small little mini fridge over in a corner. Aside from that, the table has been perfectly cleared out. There's a couple of stations for conference calling.
Hey, remember what I was telling you when we first got in the room?
Yes.
Our sample is a lot closer than I originally thought.
Okay. The mayor's in here, so let's talk with him first.
That's
Hi.
Hi. What? So you said you had some information.
Yes.
What do you have? Were you able to get some fingerprints for me?
I had to leave because someone was trying to break into my house with my sister there.
That's unfortunate. Were these other gentlemen able to do something then?
They did go and see.
I'm sorry. I should ask, is your sister all right?
Yes, shooken up, but all right.
Well, I'm glad to hear that she's all right then.
But these three plus our scientist friend were able to go and look. They told me some interesting stuff. I feel like it would be better if he told you what all happened during that incident.
So a summary of events from the night, I would be all ears.
So we had a mishap going into the facility. It could be said we were invited inside by the security guards.
That's fortuitous. How'd that happen?
We had a vehicular, I wouldn't call it an accident so much as a mishap that led for the security guards to come and try to render aid to us or inspect us either way.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Possibly both. We were invited inside because one of our people knew the security guard from a past relationship. She offered to give us a tour of the facility.
You could say it's a past relationship.
On that tour, we found some security recording devices as well as transmitters that would have been that were pointed towards the city to be able to transmit probably pretty large files. We met their head of security named Colin Hothouse. Does that name mean anything to you?
Can't say that I know anybody named Colin Hothouse? Holthouse? Which?
Hothouse.
Hothouse. No, that doesn't ring any bells.
You may want to do some digging into as to who he is. He had blueprints of a bathhouse in his possession.
You don't say.
Yes. He was also German, claimed to have been prior military, and was carrying a Walther, if that means anything to you.
I've shot a Walther a few times. It's a reasonable weapon.
They're decent.
Fairly reliable.
The amount of
Not particularly something you see a lot of in Texas.
no. I just thought that a Kraut carrying that kind of a gun would have been kind of a red flag.
I bet you a silver dollar that guy's Stasi. Stasi was the East German Secret Service, kind of like the KGB or our CIA.
He wasn't wearing any SS regalia, was he?
It wasn't that obvious.
That's
He
good.
was in civilian clothes. I get more about a civilian guard's uniform.
The Stasi were the Russian,
Yeah.
the ones that they installed to keep track of. So,
Okay.
We then went to, after we were done at the demolition derby, went to go and talk about what we found. Excuse me, let me back up. Some of the recording devices that we found were homemade. in origin. When we took a closer look at it, we did find a camera that was observing us as we were then observing the equipment. After we got done there, we went to a Denny's to kind of talk about what had been going on. We found out that our car had been bugged. We found out that while we were at Denny's, we were being watched. When we approached the vehicle, they lost their heads.
What do you mean they lost their heads?
I mean,
Did they instigate a fight?
I wouldn't say they instigated it, but they're no longer with us. Their heads blew up. They then caught on fire, and we managed to save one of their fingers that appears to have reptilian skin under human skin.
Wait,
It's a lot
what?
to take in, Mayor. I know it is, but
They actually showed me the finger, and they're
We've-
not lying. And
we've had a
I'm
lot.
gonna ask, who had the ring last?
I did.
I'm gonna ask you to hand me the ring so I can show him the ring, because he'll more than likely.
Or no,
replace the
he did.
symbol.
He had the ring
You've got
last.
the coin right there in
Can
front
you
of
hand
you.
me the coin?
Would you mind handing it to me? That way I
Yep.
can put it on camera for the...
So I'm going to show him, because since I know he is of the Freemasons, I'm going to show him the ring and be like, this is what was found on said finger.
Thought that they weren't in business for a while now. They'd been outlawed and at least had gone underground. Membership seemed to have been dwindling for those people.
Yeah, I know in my research of them, it's very brief information because they are not liked very well.
It's not always necessarily a question of being liked very well. They were too political. P2, they focused a lot on changing governments, and most Masonic organizations, we try to avoid politics within the course of our Freemason meetings. True, you're going to run into some people that you might know in the political arena, but talking about it at actual, Masonic meetings, that's forbidden. That's just bad form. They focused entirely on, in large part, making changes in government. Wasn't just for the usual betterment of the self, it was supposed betterment of the community. And while we believe in that, we try not to allow the politics to become involved in any of the conversations.
Well, and after they had given me the description of the three who lost their heads, they were the three that tried to break in to my home, apparently. Because they matched my sister's description.
Okay, now you say lost the head, and you say that they're no longer with you. Am I to understand that they literally had their heads removed from their body?
they were not removed. They just exploded without any of our doing.
Lizard men
There was a
Stasi.
There was a kinetic event that caused excorporeality of them.
Lizard men Stasi had their heads blow up. That what I'm together.
And then caught on fire.
I've been caught on fire. Wait, caught on fire. I was listening to the radio earlier this morning. I generally keep it running in the office in case there's anything interesting that comes across aside from the music. And there was a current event. This was in Waxahachie, wasn't it?
This was
Just off of I-35, there's a Denny's there.
correct.
And at that Denny's, there was a report of the darndest thing. Some damn fool backed his car up into a garbage container and ruptured his gas and spread that gas amazingly by the sheerest of dumb luck, according to the report. The vehicle didn't catch fire, but there was a big fire in the parking lot with the dumpster. And do you think that that might be...
It's a very strange coincidence, isn't it?
And at the site there were no reports of any bodies on fire or otherwise.
Imagine if there would have been.
Given the fact that, from what I heard, they didn't get home until 6 in the morning.
The news report stated it was late in the night, early in the morning. Police were looking to see if they can find a vehicle fitting that description locally. Mostly to make certain that, they pay for any damages done from the fire. It wasn't a massive fire, and the damage was only done really to the dumpster.
Would it be reasonable that I'd still have my the registration from that vehicle on me?
Yeah, you probably didn't even think to take it out of your pocket.
I'm gonna say, well, it definitely wasn't a dumpster. It was this make and model vehicle. I managed to pull this from the car before, or from the SUV before it was fully engulfed.
Who was it registered to again? Was it?
You had time to actually
I don't
check
think
it.
I've even looked at it.
NTSI? What the hell was that? I got it written down right in the same. Whose name's on it?
I look at the name before I hand it to him.
Walter Smith.
Okay, I hand it over to the mayor.
I don't know. I wrote it down. It says next to the 80 Dodge Aspen, 2 guys. Short. Wait a second.
I'm going with the Dodge Aspen.
I have 1980 Dodge Aspen, 2 guys,
Yep.
shortcut hair, black suits.
Yeah.
Before we knew about the third guy.
Yeah.
So they were driving her car, or were they
It was the same model.
saying, okay, I said, did we need a retcon here? Did they steal her car?
No,
Okay.
they did not steal her car.
But right next to it, I've got NTSI. I don't know what that was. Maybe I was channeling. Was it something with the equipment?
Oh yes, the NTSI. That was a partial serial number
On the
on the device that was taken, the recording device.
Right,
or the,
right, okay, okay.
The bug device.
that's what I asked.
The
Who was the
NTSI.
manufacturer?
It was NTSI was on the bug itself. The circuit board the one that you destroyed.
Right.
That's where it was.
Okay.
I was drawing.
When I
blank
pulled
for a
the
minute.
deal out, because we were trying to say, is this an okay? That's what
Yes, that's where that
it
came
is. Destroyed
from.
bug.
Yes.
Sorry, I need to.
No, it's okay.
So,
Okay, what did I miss?
just the debrief from him.
Okay.
And we did capture the partial on the manufacturer of the bug tracking system that was under the car the night at Denny's.
Okay.
But
Was
yeah,
it
he just-
CIA?
we don't know. We haven't researched
don't,
it.
okay.
But he just did basically a full debrief. He also
Okay.
got a name off of the car registration, Walter Smith, which sounds super vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smith and
Well,
Johnson.
That's a step up
Walter-
from John Doe.
Yeah.
Walter Smith is basically. I'm wondering if he's using Fringe as inspiration for that name.
Did you tell the mayor about the exploding heads
Yes.
catching on fire?
Yes,
Finger
and then he
up?
mentioned that there was a radio broadcast about how a car caught a dumpster on fire at Denny's and blah blah blah.
So,
Okay.
So,
And you told him about the finger?
what about?
He knows about the finger.
Okay.
we can't move forward. I can't ask questions until we get out. But
Okay. Well,
we're paused because we're in the
Right.
conference room, so we
Right.
can't. If we're
Yeah.
going to say anything. But I guess I can speculate this, that I feel like if the newspaper is reported, or the news reported that, who's covering for this?
well, and the mayor did say he would try to run ramshot to.
He was unaware of the Denny's thing until we mentioned
I
it.
understand that. But he also said that he would try to, if anything would go wrong on going into the demo derby, that he would try to delay our response from the authorities.
Yep.
So this may be along the same lines.
Deus 2 was the name of the other person?
Actually, it wasn't Deus 2, it's P2.
So I've got my own personal thing, but I want to talk about it after we get out from the mayor. I should have 2 things.
Okay, so the mayor's already left, right? Oh, it's
What?
still in
No,
here?
he's still in there. Propaganda do it.
We've barely started talking with him.
Okay.
And that's DUE. Propaganda do it.
All you missed was him telling him what happened
Doing
and
the debrief.
the mayor telling us that he heard about the fire via the radio but didn't realize that there were bodies, supposedly, because the report said no bodies were found, only damage was done to a dumpster.
Huh. That's okay.
That's basically all you missed.
Gotcha.
So, one thing I'm probably going to mention to the mayor is how his house was bugged when we got there. So I'm assuming that the 3 guys were trying to bug my house when my sister discovered them.
Are we going to go over that again then once everybody's done and sit down? Okay.
I'm just vocalizing stuff so that way I don't forget it, because my brain does better if I say it out loud at this point.
All right, so you're in the conference room, the private conference room, and you just discussed the events at Denny's.
Well, and Mayor, the 3 that they had described to me that I had said that I believe my sister had discovered. When we got to his house, we found how many bugs? 5 or so?
5 bugs and 1
A trank dart.
Yeah, 1 trank dart that they used
On his
against
dog.
one of my puppies.
But they bugged his house, which led me to assume that my sister discovered them before they bugged mine. So they were assuming all of our houses are bugged at the moment, which is why we wanted to meet you in person.
That sounds like an awful lot of effort to go to people who shouldn't have been known about.
Precisely. So we're wondering if
He goes over and pours a glass of water for himself.
wait, sir. Spit it back into the cup, please.
What?
I'm not so sure that the water is taint free.
Are you saying that it's drugged?
Possibly. I don't want
Not in
to.
a good way.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but I think from some of the things that have happened in the past, we've noticed some trends, and just to be on the safe side, at least for now.
I think what he's trying to say is we want to protect you if we have to and if we can, Mayor.
Okay, this is the water that I have delivered from Mulligan, the water service.
Yes, sir. You might want to do a chemical makeup test to make sure that it's strictly water. No extra additives in it.
Okay. Now, are you saying that they might be trying to poison me?
Yes.
Don't know if it's poison to incapacitate or poison to change your way of thinking. There are all kinds of different drugs out there that can do that.
So what they... So you heard about the rain of frogs that happened a couple times?
What? No.
No?
No.
Okay, at my frog signing was the first time. Second time was after you left us at the park.
Rain of frogs.
Yes. And the frogs were mutated, and we are assuming that the water has some of that mutation stuff in it.
Mutation.
Too many weenies.
I'm sorry, too many weenies? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Grow extra.
Appendages.
Genitalia.
Okay. What does that have to do? Why would me having an extra winky have anything to do with a vote on whether or not?
Sir, in all honesty, we don't know that it's connected.
Are you saying that there's possibly multiple interests in this office,
It's very well possible, sir.
and one of them has the ability to give me an extra willy?
Don't know if it will actually happen, but we know that it's happened in lower life forms.
Frogs.
Yes.
So we are.
And
just-
with what we found with the cadaver finger,
Uh-huh.
we found it very, very concerning.
Especially with the reptile scales underneath the skin.
And I'm looking deadpan faced to him, not portraying any kind of humor whatsoever.
Not to be accusatory, but do any of you do drugs?
The ones that do are saying the same things that I would say. And I do not.
And I don't either.
Why are you cool?
Stop!
Are you
Stop!
Are you cool?
Shut!
Are you,
No.
Do you know Holden? Do you know William Holden?
Who?
William Holden. Do you know him?
I'm
Mayor,
not familiar.
He's cool. Are you cool?
I'm not familiar with the
Okay,
William
okay,
Holden.
Okay, enough,
Don't worry
enough.
about it, okay?
Okay. Mayor, Mayor, the frogs that were mutated, I assisted our scientist in dissecting them and analyzing them. He is
Okay.
aware of them, and we also analyzed the water.
So why is Mr. Smith not with you?
Good question.
Probably he's growing another winky.
Did he communicate with any of you guys why he wasn't coming?
No?
He does work for the government, correct?
Yes.
He probably has something work related.
Did anybody try to get a hold of him?
No, I didn't.
Nope.
I didn't. They were high and calling me.
No, we got high after calling.
Yeah.
They were calling me and saying, you need to see this, you need to see this. And sounded like they were trying to show me something through the phone.
I see.
So I just went over there.
In my defense, I was already high.
Does not help. But
Okay, so you have a finger, and you have the possibility of a fingerprint off of said finger.
yes,
We also have proof of the frogs as well.
Okay,
they
what proof do you have about the frogs? What?
are at our scientist's lab, his personal lab,
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
Showed high levels of atrazine.
which is
What?
a pesticide.
Pesticide?
Or let me double check my notes real quick.
Herbicide.
Herbicide. Yep. Yep. Atrazine, which is a herbicide, which was inside their lungs and intestines, and the only ones that did not mutate were branded
I'm sorry.
with an elder sign.
A what?
It's like
Draw
it's
an
like
elder sign.
it's like devil worship kind of stuff.
Okay, so Satanists are branding frogs and dosing other frogs with atrazine to give them extra
dog.
pinknesses, because one willy isn't enough apparently for your weird sacrifices.
So-
What?
Not our weird sacrifice.
Well, I'm talking theirs.
Huh?
If we were about the board, it would make more sense. We got a board. If you saw the board, you'd know.
It was. It wasn't necessarily an extra willy, if you will. Let's say you already have a willy. It adds the female version of it.
I'm sorry. Okay, so you're talking about in frogs, not in
Yes.
people, right?
As of right now, just frogs.
That we know of.
So
That's not to say that the lizard people couldn't be trying to get extra willies, but
Could be clones.
clones.
I know this is a lot to throw at you, Mayor. This is why I wanted to meet in person rather than do this over the phone.
Plus, it's more secure.
I don't suppose you have any of these bugs that were in your home.
As a matter of fact,
You have them with you?
no. They were just disabled.
But we haven't searched our other houses yet, so they might still be there.
Okay, so yes, I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around all of this. What do you think is going to be the best course of action to go from here in order to find out specifically who is responsible? Do we think that P2 is actually responsible for the attempted blackmailing? Because that would be a separate faction that they were disbanded in '76.
If they were truly disbanded, yes.
Well, they were. After that, I know that they were still around for a minute, but they had officially disbanded.
I understand. I think with what's been going on with you and the photograph and the bathhouse issue, that is definitely connected in one circle.
with that being said, I think that we need to run this registration and find out who Walter Smith is, if he even exists, and try to find him, whether he's like the CEO of a business and this was a purchased vehicle through the business or something of that nature.
Obviously, our priority is trying to solve the stuff that pertains to next week with you.
With the vote.
Yes.
Because the vote is exactly a week from today now. We have 7 days then to find out who's trying to blackmail me so that I can make up my own mind as to what way I'm going. And I'm definitely leaning more towards, not having a bathhouse.
Any of the interests that are petitioning you for the bathhouse, do any of them have German connections?
Or communist connections.
Well, some people that have contacted me saying that I should work on getting this bathhouse actually approved. Some of them are coming from Silicon Valley, and you know those people there. That's close enough to California that it may as well be, communist. So many of the actors there, if they weren't communist, they were, but they were hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly a touch of McCarthy being accurate, but there's every bit as much of him being wrong. Don't necessarily agree with his tactics either, but that doesn't mean that there weren't commies there. The main interests that have been going on with this have been associated with just people out of Silicon Valley I think that some of them fellas might be lighting the loafers, so they're looking for some place to spend some time when they're in Texas.
Could be.
DM, I'm going to use inspiration to see if I can think of exactly what trail to follow next.
Okay, would you mind handing that to me? Okay, his suggestion is definitely a good one. Something that you guys haven't considered yet as far as a possible path. Nobody's even considered talking to either of the individuals that were in the photos to verify if they can actually say, hey, were you really in this compromising situation? Or was it somebody else? Was this doctored? Nobody's spoken to his son. Nobody's spoken to the other guy. Following up on the registration definitely would make sense. Following up on the fingerprint would definitely make sense. All of these are probably your top 3 priorities for figuring out what's going on before the vote next week.
Right.
Okay. So, Mayor, do you know where your son is as of today? Where he could be found? Because I know we want to keep everything down low, but we would like to know his thoughts on the pictures. To see if he actually knew they
There
were
is
being taken.
no
or
way
anything
that
like
I'm going to have you stalked with him. He doesn't need to have this thrown in his face one way or the other.
Sir, in all honesty, we're very discreet with everything we do.
Oh, Lord.
How about the other person in this photo?
I don't know anything about him.
We know someone that does know something about him, so we will see about talking with the other person in the photo then. Okay. If close to the deadline, if we still need to talk with your son, will you allow us then?
I'll think about it,
Okay.
but
I know you'd rather not.
I don't want him dealing with any undue stress.
That's why I said close to deadline.
We're in the middle of the school year. His time in college, he should not really be worried about what's going on with his dad's career.
Well, I understand that, Mayor. I think that an Occam's razor is probably our best tool for this. If you'd like us to sort out something having to deal with your son, I feel like your son is the best way for us to get the problem handled.
Give me a fast talk, bro.
You do have fast time.
I sure do. And it is 9. I got a 15 and my check is a 16.
So let's just let fast.
I'll make arrangements for you to see him Monday.
Okay.
I'll get back in touch with you when I'm certain I have your number. I'll probably give you the phone call.
Okay.
I think it'd be beneficial in the long run, sir.
Now you say that you have a possible lead of talking to the other fella.
Yes.
Why don't you try talking to him first?
We need to find out who it is first. For sure.
I'm sorry, I thought you said you had an idea of who he was.
We have an idea of where he's been.
All right.
I think we'll take care of that lead first.
In the meantime.
Okay, and you had a fingerprint that you were able to possibly get.
Did you bring it?
You don't have your equipment to dust for prints.
I know, but I'm asking if he has it close or if we have to go and pick it up and take it to my
It's in his
house.
fridge. It's in my fridge.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't walk around with a finger. Are you crazy?
Really?
Walk around with several.
Okay.
No extra fingers.
Okay. So, yes, Mayor, we will figure out the fingerprint and all this stuff. we'll let you.
Mayor, do you mind if I just call somebody, see if they can just pick it up and bring it over here real quick?
No.
Do you
How
mind?
about we have them meet at my house so that way I can have my equipment?
The problem is,
What-
if
if-
you're looking at the house,
We're not going to use this phone for that. There is a pay phone. I'll give you change for it. I'd rather not have it tied
To you.
directly here if I can help it as much as possible.
Don't worry, I got it dime.
Okay.
There is one in the second lobby over.
We will.
I had no intention of calling. I was going to pick up the phone, I had the redial button and see where it went.
Oh. Hey.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll let you try and get some lunch and process everything. Obviously, get back to us when you know when or where we can meet your son, if we are.
mm-hmm.
because if they hit the house,
And
why we were going
we'll
last
try
time,
and keep you up to date.
possible. Did it again.
Obviously, a lot has happened since the last time we chatted, so
I agree.
That is for certain. That is for certain. But I will let you try to follow up on the leads that you have. I should probably go ahead and actually get my lunch so I can get back to work. And he heads towards the door, opens it. So when he leaves the office, you have the option of trying that without him being here.
Doing it.
Hitting the redial. Milton.
Kristen?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Midland Marriott. Can I help you?
Oh, sorry, I think I got a wrong number.
okay.
We need to get back and retrieve that finger and make sure it's secure, because if they bugged his house and infiltrated his house when we were gone once before, there's a very
Yeah.
good possibility they're going to do it again and maybe try to get back any evidence we've got in our favor.
Yeah.
Let's get back there then.
So I'm gonna ask one of you guys before we leave, pour a bit of that water into a cup or something so I can analyze it later to make sure it's the same type of weird.
There are paper cups.
Then I'll do so.
Thank you.
Quick, to the Gwynmobile.
The what mobile?
The Gwenmobile.
Oh. Okay, sure. Call it whatever.
So, I'm going to stop you if you're getting in the front seat. Let you go to the back. I'm going to sit in the front.
Okay, so you're shotgun this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I am setting it by a door this time.
So that means you're on
I'm not just set on the.
the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We drive to his place. Who's running in to grab the...
I'm having a conversation.
Okay. Should I move closer so...
No, it's...
Okay.
I mean, we're in the car driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your sister's doing okay?
Yes. As far as I'm aware.
All right. So when's the last time you talked to the mayor?
The
Before
mayor?
today.
At the park.
How do you know your sister was having trouble?
Because I had mentioned...
No, recently. When we got in there, he said, "Is everything okay with your sister?" That you and him had to go attend to. Did you ever tell him?
I did.
Since yesterday?
I mentioned it after we came in the room because I mentioned that I was unable to go.
He asked you that before you ever said anything about your sister.
He did?
He did.
Huh. I didn't
That was
register
one of the
that.
first things he asked. Was how your sister was doing. And I don't remember there being enough time or you having a chance to tell him. So either you're having conversations with him.
She had a phone conversation prior to that. She called, set up the meet, said that she had mentioned that there were a lot of events that had happened the night before, and that there was an attempted break-in, and then she was going back over that same information when you guys made it to the in-person meet. At least I believe they were.
Oh, it's one of the very first things that was out of your mouth. Or out of the mayor's mouth.
Correct, out of the mayor's mouth.
So that is interesting if it is the case that he jumps the gun. I don't know.
Or metagame, the GM just got things out of order. So, but I picked up on that.
Okay.
I could have swore that you had mentioned something to him about
I thought so too. That's why I didn't.
When she
think
called him,
anything
she
of
just
it.
set up to meet and mentioned there was some trouble. I don't remember her saying anything about the sister.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about the sister in the call.
So we're going to chalk this one up to the GM.
Well, but he asked how she was doing. He didn't specifically say, how is she doing?
How does he know she has a sister?
Because he looked me
He
up.
had, were you there for the session where he was going over the
No.
files?
No,
He has a
he's
file
not.
on everybody.
Yeah.
He was going over them at the Olive Garden.
And you mentioned that there
Terry
was
wouldn't know
something
that
interesting.
because Terry wasn't there.
Yeah, Terry wouldn't know that.
So Terry's going to use his disadvantage
Right.
to
That-
continue this line of questioning.
And
Okay.
then, now that I'm realizing, he has a file on all of us. That's how he knew I had a sister.
What do you mean he's got a file on all of us?
He showed us the files when we met at Olive Garden. Not, he didn't show us. He just had the folders next to him. And mentioned some interesting stuff about myself and the others. Not you guys. Only the ones that were in attendance.
I don't trust him.
I'm not surprised that you don't trust him given how you've demonstrated.
Just remember, we're kind and courteous to everybody, but always have a plan to come.
Not the one that's driving right now.
I second that.
You're not driving, but thank
So-
you.
After we get the evidence, we need to stop by somewhere. I need to check on something.
Okay, so after we grab the thing you left in the fridge, where is it you want me to drive you to stop by at before
Let me
we
use
stop at
his
my
phone
house?
book real quick. Okay. Look up the Midland Marriott.
Okay. Doesn't take long.
Okay. Drive by this address.
Okay.
Midland, Texas.
Oh, Midland Marriott. It's not
It's the Marriott in Midland,
in
Texas.
Midland. How far is Midland from here?
It's about an hour and a half drive. It's
I'd
not
rather.
far from.
Never mind that. I thought it was just you were saying Midland like that was the name of it. No, there is a Midland, Texas.
Yeah, Midland, Texas. It's
So-
about.
Okay, once I realized
It's not far from
I'm not
Waxahachie.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
so
Waxahachie.
how about we drive by it later
Yeah,
after I've
we-
analyzed the finger and
We
everything?
can't do that one right now. It's an hour and a half away.
You say it's right near Waxahachie?
Waxahachie. It's near Waxahachie.
So
But I'm going to explain why I'm saying that is because when I hit redial, I didn't actually call anybody. I picked it up and hit redial. Midland and Marriott picked up from that conference room.
okay,
So that was the last number that was dialed from that phone.
okay, noted.
And one other thing I'd just like to point out, the Italians where this place, the Dua people are from, they almost had a communist thing happen. Our German buddy, I'm guessing he's from East Germany, they're commies.
Okay,
And then the symbol there associated with Bolsheviks. Anybody seeing that kind of an odd coincidence? Ross,
Well-
you're the one that brought it up.
Do I see an odd coincidence? I'll think it's an odd coincidence.
Okay, now here's a tough one. I know something about UFOlogy in that part of the world that Terry's not big on the UFO thing,
Right.
so Terry wouldn't know it.
No, if
Okay.
you're into conspiracy theories, you would know about, and I'm saying this out of
could
character,
my character?
you would know about the lizardman.
That's the
Could-
dot there. I don't know if I can draw it because Terry would. I don't think there wasn't a lot of European UFO news in the 80s. 90s it was,
90s it was.
but 80s. So
The stuff that happened in the 80s wasn't really known in the United States until the 90s and after.
Right. Okay.
Because
Could my
Unless you're
character
going
make
to
a
report
roll?
it to Blue Book.
Yeah. And again, he wouldn't have been doing that from Europe. Blue Book was specifically
United
U.S.
States.
Could my character do a roll to figure out if she would know what he's talking about?
we're kind of, I'm not talking,
I
I'm
realize
not, it's kind of
outside
a
the
weird
game.
situation because I,
This is one of those instances that where the whole you're trying to avoid the metagaming
Right,
of
right.
what you personally might know, like in your Hunter game when I'm like, it's Lady Bathory, but my character doesn't know it, but it's Lady Bathory, but I don't know it.
right.
Yeah.
So, because our reported UFO, what we see walking on UFOs is very different than what is seen in
Okay.
the rest of the world.
Here's how I can think my character might think of this stuff. The flying orb thing that we saw after the frogs fell.
Not everybody saw it.
What?
No.
I saw it though.
You saw it.
The lizard men.
Mm-hmm.
Those two things, plus conspiracy theory. Could I potentially make a roll to see if I'd make a UFO connection thingy that he's trying to do?
Well, UFO connection, conceivably. I'm not sure exactly which point he's going with the European community one.
Okay. Could he tell you off camera and then we can figure out?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Terry. Have you ever heard of this?
Give me a
This place
conspiracy
that the Air
theory
Force
roll.
has got going on? You were Air Force, right? Were you Army? Okay. Well, the Air Force has this
Yeah, straight conspiracy theory.
I made it.
office
I made
that
8
is
to 13.
supposed to be
Okay.
investigating strange occurrences with flying stuff. And it falls under the
AJ.
Air Force, but it's
He's talking
okay.
in character at
Yeah.
least.
Dr. Heineck and some Air Force
The
brass.
elder symbol that was on the front, it resembled the
I don't know.
ring, did it not?
And anybody can go
The
talk
elder
to
signs
civilians,
that were
military
on it
both.
were the twig style.
Oh, okay.
Operation Blue Book.
Maybe somebody we want to talk to.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Okay.
Okay.
Which with him could.
Yeah, that's very possible. Same thing with him. Very, very likely. Okay. The
And I'm driving while I'm thinking about this, so.
okay. The thing that is striking you is there's some ufology lore that focuses on essentially 2 to 3 different types of alien. What you get in the United States, generally, from what is seen, is the grays. Okay,
So, what?
the grays.
Grays.
Small body.
Greys.
AY, the color. They are gray in appearance. They have the big, glassy black
Kind of
eyes.
almond shaped eyes.
Yep.
Humanoid.
And usually short, like 3
Size
to
of
4 foot.
Children.
Yeah,
Children's
size of children. Oversized heads, thin bodies. But in other countries, in particular Egypt and Middle Eastern, as well as Crete, areas of that nature, the alien reports in ufology there
Lizardman.
are lizard men.
It goes back to
So-
some of the Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Yes.
And the third type is Norse.
So,
Which are tall.
Tall blonde.
Yep.
so as we're driving, I'm hearing them. I'm like, you guys remember that UFO thing after the second round of frogs falling? Those that were actually looking up at the sky?
Mm-hmm.
That was UFO-like. We're dealing with lizard men. If my thinking of if my thinking is correct, that sounds like Egyptian, Middle Eastern aliens, the lizard men. Correct me if you think I'm wrong. But because the typical USA aliens are the grays, which are
USA.
tiny, which are the tiny children's size, gray aliens with oversized heads, and then Egypt and all of them and their hieroglyphs or other forms of media depict them as lizard men.
Among other things, yes.
Man, that's wild.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
I'm willing to believe anything at this point. I've had more shenanigans happen to me in the last month than I think I've had my entire life.
Evil shenanigans.
You said shenanigans.
Okay.
So, we've added 2 more places that we need to check out, along with these other places: Midland Marriott in Midland, Texas, and Mulligan's.
And where?
Mulligan's
Water
Water.
Company.
Not to be confused with the other water company.
Mulligans.
Mulligans.
Marriott and Midland, you said?
Midland Marriott and Mulligan's. We still have the doctor to check out, and then I have my little side project I want to check out.
Okay, let's first go to the house to analyze stuff and
How about we go get the finger first?
Yeah. Well, that's what we're doing.
That's
what
where
we're in the process
you were
of
driving initially.
Yes. Once you wrap the finger, we'll go to my place.
After bond reps.
We're at the point where there's not a lot that we can
Medical.
research on the computer, right?
It's from like a little
The
coon.
research is almost exclusively done in libraries. There is not a major database
Am I close
online.
to a library? Is my home close to a library?
There's 3 major libraries. Yes, sir.
Is there a special bookstore? There's probably plenty in
Specialty
Dallas.
bookstores?
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, the mysticism, occult.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. The
Mhm.
bookstore that is the other books.
Yes. Yes.
There was
That may get us further down the road than the library.
Yeah. My character lives on Avenue G in Dallas, Texas, if that helps.
Not really.
No? Okay. I wasn't sure if you were pulling up a map.
No,
Side note.
I was not.
No, I was asking him.
Oh,
This
Less
is
than-
out of game. I have a question. How much could you actually do on the computer at this time?
Jack.
Yeah,
it could be
Yeah,
crap.
you couldn't do
Yeah.
anything.
The only thing that you could do with regards to
Word processor.
yeah, there was
so
no.
I use it for writing. That's it.
You use it for writing.
Okay.
Bulletin board systems would be something that there's a couple of them up at this point. Not
What-
a lot.
Hey, you could play Oregon Trail.
The
Yes.
crazy stuff didn't start hitting until the early
Given-
90s.
Very late 80s, early 90s. So you're well before Google. There's no major search engines. You have to kind of know what you're doing in order to find any sort of computers that you can communicate with.
Nothing used a mouse. It was not a point and click thing. You had to use DOS for everything.
And the databases were rudimentary, and generally you had to be physically connected to them.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
so-
mentioned bulletin boards. Given my sci-fi author interest stuff, would I potentially be part of bulletin boards where I could ask about the alien stuff?
No.
That is,
No, that's not the way the
they,
bulletin boards
just-
work.
they weren't
Okay.
that way yet.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
why I'm asking, so that way I don't.
They were more like software trading and coding snippets, or
Okay.
it wasn't. There weren't messages on there. It was more. I could go retrieve an IRS list of tax rates for the year, kind of
Okay.
stuff.
That's why I wanted to clarify stuff before I jumped the gun.
Now,
Yeah, there was.
now in 1984-85, one of the Steve Jackson games had their own bulletin board system where you would go to talk about gaming stuff, and you could post questions or rules clarification issues, look for errata, things of that nature. So that one would be one where you could post questions about a thing. So there's the possibility there might be a ufology bulletin board system.
Well, you could just set one up on your
85.
computer if you had the stuff to do it.
Yeah.
And access to a telecom network.
I have a computer at my house. That's part of why I'm asking.
No, I mean like somebody could just.
Dial in with
I
a phone
could set one
number.
up on my it wouldn't be on the internet. It would be on
Yeah.
my computer. When my computer is on,
Yes,
and I connect everything up, then we have a BBS.
yes,
But when I shut my computer down, it goes away.
yes. That's exactly what they did with Steve Jackson games. They kept their computers, or a couple of them, running 24/7.
Okay.
in order to allow for connectivity for that sort of thing.
Okay.
You didn't have
so-
a modem bank that people would dial directly into, so if you had 12 modems, you could have 12 users.
Yeah.
And-
So
And a
it
physical
was,
phone line for each one.
yeah.
And given the fact that we're probably waiting a call from the
Well,
mayor at some
you can
point,
do
we
that.
probably don't want to.
Well,
You had a dedicated
Trunking?
phone line for your computer.
I did.
Mid-80s?
But the question is, does the bulletin board system have availability
yeah.
for some questions if you have
If they
them?
dial
So
into
what-
Trump.
Of course,
So
it was
give
Dallas,
me
so yeah.
a research roll
Research.
at -2.
Yeah, no. No, go for
Ah, I
it.
got it!
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, there is a bulletin board system that you are aware of that somebody has suggested contacting some people about ideas for your books if you ever decided to do anything on aliens.
Oh, I know someone we can reach out to ask more questions about the aliens. So when we get to my house, I'm gonna log in, and then who's good at typing that won't mess up my computer? You can type the responses while I'm doing the analyzing of the fingerprint stuff.
Okay.
So then we get the finger. Is the finger at the fridge?
Yes, the finger is still in the refrigerator
Okay.
because I
Look like
failed
it's
my
been
roll.
messed with?
What?
Does it look like it's been messed with?
Okay, so we are gonna head to
Do
my
we need
place
to
now.
sweep the house again?
With the finger.
Yeah, sweep the house again.
Checking
No.
the house.
Why
Okay, I
not
think-
sweep my house when we get there?
No.
Hey, I
We
made
need
it
to
right
sweep-
on.
We need to sweep
Like-
the house that we know for a fact has been bugged again.
See if it's been bugged again in the absence. You don't find anything.
Okay. So, we drive off to my house
Okay.
because I'm driving everyone and they're all stuck with me.
As
at the
to
moment.
your idea of the bookstore, Aldridge Bookstore.
And how far away is that from my house, roughly? Is it walking distance?
No, it's driving distance.
Okay.
It's about a 15-minute drive.
I don't trust him to drive my car. So, if you're going, have someone I know can drive.
I just take the bus.
Okay.
Bus.
Taking public transit.
Okay.
Plus,
Well,
they can't bug or follow, or they can't bug that in buses.
yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay.
so you're going to try to take a fingerprint off of the finger.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to head to Aldridge Bookstore.
Yeah.
Are you going alone?
Wanna go?
I have to help her with the typing.
I'll go with you.
And Ross.
Okay. 2 of you, and then the 3 of you are staying here.
I guess since someone's distracted with phone.
I will stay.
Okay. All right. Let's start with you making your roll for the
And it's
criminology.
Yeah, criminology. Okay. Made on the dot.
All righty. You take the fingerprint, and you're not going to be able to do anything further with the fingerprint other than turn it over to somebody, specifically the mayor, so that he can have it run to see if there's any
Okay.
matches. Okay? And you were going to check the bulletin board system and do
Yep.
what? What are you asking on the bulletin board? Or what are you searching for to see what threads there might be on the bulletin board?
Wasn't there a particular person that stated an interest in talking with me about aliens? That
No,
you had
he
mentioned?
suggested going to this place to
Okay.
talk to people. If
So I'm going to read over some of the bulletin boards before I comment on them to see what is currently actively being asked and stuff. See if anyone's already asking the questions I wanted to ask. Focus mostly on lizardmen and if anyone believes that they camouflage themselves in human skin or rubber.
okay, so looking for anything. Are you looking for anything in specific countries, or are you just looking for just general?
General
knowledge?
as of right now.
Hey,
I know this is crazy, but has anyone ever had a pet lizard before? Okay. In game.
In game?
No, in game, no.
No.
I read,
Can you speak up a little?
I read something sometime a while back that lizards like either kind of a moist environment or a hot, dry environment. A bathhouse is kind of a moist environment, and it's hot.
Yes, it is. Okay, that is a conspiracy.
Just throwing that out as something to think about.
And while making that conversation, you're not there, you're not there.
No. I know. So I'm holding my head in my hands.
Right. Okay. All right. While you are, give me a research roll.
Okay. Yep, I made it. I didn't even have to look at my classes. 9, because... Oh, it is so nice having a high IQ. Yep, I made it. 9 to a 14.
Okay. What you're seeing is in reference to a televised event, V.
Televised event B.
Yes.
TV series.
Did the movie come first?
It was a mini-series.
Yes.
Did the movie come first, or?
Well, it was V, that was the original, and then V, the final battle, which added 3 episodes to. Yeah, V, the miniseries, and you vaguely remember that came out like 2 years ago. It was a 2-parter at that point, 2 or 3 parts, and it had lizard people, and there was some really grody special effects of people taking like gerbils or hamsters or things like that and swallowing them whole and distending the neck of the humans from another planet. And all of them were wearing essentially rubber suits that made them look human.
Okay. So now she wonder how much of it was based on reality or was inspired the human to do that.
That's what you're finding initially. You're pretty certain that everything that you're finding right there is just related to the TV show, rather than actual abduction events or anything like that.
Kind of a fandom.
Yeah, it's more of a fandom page that you're seeing thus far. However, you think, if you continue looking, you might find more. So, now we're going to go ahead and jump over here, unless you had something specific that you were trying to do otherwise. Okay. So, off to Aldridge Books. You open up the door. There's a series of bells. Ding, 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 ding. It's not just a single bell. There's 3 of them over the door.
Actual bells.
Actual bells. All 3 of them are silver.
Silver bells.
As you're looking out across the collection of stuff, behind the counter you see several sets of tarot cards. There's crystals everywhere on the counters.
Small
By
guns.
oh yeah, you're immediately hit by patchouli as soon as you open up the door.
Alright.
Any-
Sandalwood.
Smells like the 70s in here.
Yeah.
Right.
The bookshelves are all no taller than eye level.
Okay.
There's easily, 30 rows of books. It's not a huge bookstore by any stretch of the imagination. A woman behind the desk, or at the cash register, has a name tag that says Faith. Good morning, or I should say good afternoon. It's just about noontime anyway. Is there something I can help you with, or were you just browsing?
We're just browsing.
Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Okay. Let us navigate to the section on UFOs.
Okay. I'll do that as well.
Okay. There is a set of Time Life books that includes a book on nothing but UFO experiences. There's easily one section, 40 books to a shelf, 4 shelves of nothing but ufology stuff.
Good.
Looking for stuff on Dulce Base. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm looking for specific things on abductions,
Give me a research roll.
which is IQ.
If you
Yeah.
I'm not a research.
okay,
You don't have
the
research?
default is going to be
Actually.
a penalty.
So it says on my thing it's a medium average skill.
Mental average,
Mental average, yeah.
not medium average,
Sorry. Mental
okay.
average.
I'm medium average.
right? Let's see, research. There we are. It is IQ -5 or
Huh?
writing -3.
Oh, writing?
Yeah, writing -3.
What about occultism?
Considering that UFO isn't specifically a cult, well, I suppose a cult has a potential, but
I'm gonna take a different tack.
okay. You wanting to try? I'll give you an occult -4.
I actually made it.
You found 8 books on abductions.
Okay, while he's doing that, I'm gonna go up to the front real quick. Let's say, can I borrow a pen? I want to write down a few titles. I might come back for later.
Oh, sure. Here. And she grabs you, hands a piece of paper to you as well.
Okay. I'm going to dig out receipt from my wallet. So I got a Costanza wallet, something nondescript like gas or whatever. And I'm going to write the word lizards, question mark, and my phone number. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to slip it in between 2 of the books he's found so that it's just barely sticking out. So if somebody pulls them out, my number comes out.
Okay.
And actually, I'm not going to put my phone number. I'm going to put her phone number.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm going.
I can't do that. So, whose phone? I would know yours.
Yeah.
Know yours.
You wouldn't know mine because I've given it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, she gave her phone number to
That was
everybody.
like the first-
Everybody had a set down where, okay, everybody, here's your phone numbers, here's the phone numbers. Now the question is, did you memorize it?
We'll make it fair. Just 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fair.
So, there again. Give him his number.
Fair enough.
The person that's rarely at their phone. Okay.
Or random.
Okay.
He's got an answering
I was
machine.
going to say, I have an answering machine. So.
So that's my plan, and I am done. And then we'll review the books he's got. But I'm putting that in there with my number and the word lizards question mark.
Okay. Are you wanting to buy any of the books that he found other than putting the note?
Let's thumb through and see which ones look the most promising.
Okay. We'll do that and I'll get one.
Okay. Give me one more roll. Because,
Yeah, no, I got 13.
Okay, you found one that you think is definitely very authentic sounding.
Okay.
Do I need one more roll?
No.
All right.
All right. And then you're taking
Because I
the
made
bus.
my roll, not -4 though.
Yeah. You
Might
did
have make a stop.
Okay.
Daryl. Russ, you might have make a stop. I'm going to consult bus map, and I want to take us by 5550 LBJ Parkway.
Okay.
It's not 5 yet, right?
Yeah, no, it's not 5 yet. It's just right around 12:30.
What's going on?
Okay.
That would be the Stewart business.
Yes.
I'm gonna knock one of these out.
You're gonna take the H bus in order to get there. You wait for the H bus, hop on. You do have to do one switch over. About 1 o'clock, you're actually going in front of the LBJ 5550, and there is a small storefront. The windows have curtains that are drawn. There is a sign that says open.
Let's go in.
Okay.
Not contacting anyone, guys.
I'll follow him in.
Do what?
Not contacting anyone, okay.
We don't have cell phones.
Payphones are on almost every block.
We're just following up.
No, they're not that prominent.
Every 3 or 4 blocks?
Maybe.
Downtown,
Typically-
maybe.
Downtown, there would have definitely been. However, generally speaking, you're looking at one every gas station for sure, and definitely the downtown area one every mile, so every 10 blocks at the
City
at
parks.
the least. Usually, there's one at the entrances to the city parks. If there's more than one entrance, one at each entrance.
And that was basically to
Then you just have like the
report
random
crimes and that kind of stuff.
like on a street corner and stuff. It'd just be a random one. I
Yeah.
don't know where.
What was the name on that one? That was the business actually shows a series of suites.
Okay, we're gonna go in and see what the suites are on. What if this situation? Because it was Stewart was the one that clued us in on this.
Yes.
So we are gonna find that. What else is in here?
You still have
Martiel's Interiors, Best Properties Inc.
I would think it was just given to them to look at.
I think this has something to do with that Stewart brand,
Yeah.
I think so.
which is connected to the Whole Earth catalog.
The Brand J. Stewart Company. Funny enough, the Property Service and the Brand J. Stewart Company are in the same suite.
Property. Okay. We are going to win.
There is a secretary. She's blonde, short cut hair. Probably you would guess she's going to stand around 5 or 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Very petite, very thin. She kind of reminds you of Twiggy.
Okay.
Just not as attractive though. Can I help you, sir? You can hear typing going on from cubicles behind her. She is at a front desk area. There's obviously just a single door behind her, and this is purely a lobby area. There's no access to anything other than hearing the typing going on from behind her.
My partner and I here, we were wanting to come in and get a current copy of your properties.
Yeah, I can certainly get you in touch with an agent. Could I get your name?
Yeah. Rusty
Rusty?
Shackelford.
Shackelford.
Really?
Give him his number.
If you'll give me just a moment, I can have, let's see, who is currently available on the roster. And she's looking at a grease board, and it has several names that are, difficult to read. Looks like she's got a odd sort of shorthand that she uses on the grease board?
Any kind of shorthand I've ever seen before.
Not really, no.
Millennial question here.
Yeah.
What's a grease board?
Dry erase board?
Okay.
Except they used what's called a grease pencil, and it was kind of like a modified crayon that you actually had to turn, and it was like a great big crayon inside of a pen. And as you turned it, it extended it out as you wore it down.
Wipe the grease over.
They're a god awful mess.
Yeah.
Something with auto.
I believe that Thomas Allen would be available. I can have him get in touch with you. In the meantime, we do have a brochure that has some of the more prominent properties. This isn't a comprehensive listing, though. And she grabs a pamphlet and hands it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna take it. No, look at you. That's all I just wanted to get a look at this place.
Huh?
I just wanted to get a good look at this place.
Well, I understand. I'm just following your lead.
Okay. Are you going to leave after getting that then, or are you going to?
Yeah, I don't want to act like a weirdo. This time.
This time.
Yeah, this time.
So, Rusty and his friend here will take off.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But I'm going to talk to him about, do you see that handwriting on the grease board?
Yes, I do.
A little weird.
Yes, I did.
I wonder how lizards handwrite.
I don't know. I've never really
We go by the pet store and see if we can get one to do it?
Nah, I think we should probably get back.
That's right.
Yeah, because I don't know, lizard's handwriting kind of scares me. I'm gonna feed into it, yes.
Okay, we're going to go back. We're done.
Okay. We had a follow-up here. So how are you planning on doing this? You're just going to give me a basic research roll then?
We'll let him do it this time.
Okay. Yeah. So he's working on this while you're working on the bulletin board system.
I have a check of 16, and I got an 11.
All righty. Let's see.
Probably once we figure out where we're going to organize it.
All connected. It's been killing me. That lead has been there since like the second game.
I know.
I couldn't take it anymore.
That's fine. You had the opportunity to take initiative and figure it out.
All right, and
Oh my.
they have his phone number for that. They have your phone number for this. But I don't mention that fact.
You're going to need a bigger board.
Might tell you.
Not gonna tell him.
There are 7 of them in the phone book.
Okay.
Now, the registration hasn't been.
Okay, which is there an address?
And it doesn't match any of them.
Okay. I guess I would go to the treasurer's office and look for.
Check to see what the. You don't actually have to physically go. You can actually call and.
He can use my phone to call.
You can actually call the public offices in order to find out what properties are at a specific location, if it's a private residence or whether it's commercial information, who pays the taxes on it. You would call the tax office generally in order to do that.
Okay. Well, I will call the. I'll call the tax office. I feel like that's
Tax
my
assessor's office.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Doesn't take you long to find the tax assessor's number in the phone book. Give the call. This is Edward. How can I help you?
Hi, I was calling to make an inquiry about a property.
Sure. Do you have address or do you have legal description?
Address.
Okay. What's the address?
I can give it to you.
Okay. Comes back a few minutes later. That property, I show that as being owned by the city.
Okay.
It's currently undeveloped land.
There's no businesses related to it, or
No,
any specific city.
it's an
set?
empty lot.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing physically there. Were you interested in making a purchase on the property? It is up for sale.
It is. What's the purchase price on that?
It's an empty lot, and it's in an unused portion of the exterior of town, so I don't believe it's going to be anything over 40,000. It is a fairly large parcel.
How large is it?
3 acres.
All right.
There is a post office box that's associated with it.
Okay. What's that PO box?
Well, that's weird. It's in California. It's in Menlo Park, California. PO Box 2325.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Interesting.
That is weird. Why would they have a P.O. box in California if they're in Texas? Because that's quite a drive to pick up your mail.
Quite a drive. Especially if it's going to be owned by the city. I'm going to relate to her that the
Is there a
property.
property manager
I have
or
to-
property
I have to
management
call the
company?
city.
Not if it's for sale.
You still want that since we're putting.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
We could maybe talk to the mayor about it if it's owned by the city. But if he is right and
He called about property.
The address related to the registration of the vehicle. It has a PO box. You guys wouldn't know this yet, but it has a PO box in California in Menlo Park.
Menlo.
Menlo. Sorry.
M-E-N-L-O.
We know the city owns the property.
Yeah.
but
Oh, okay. I know where I know what that works from. That's the name of the security suite they use at the DoD computers now. Is Menlo.
It's $40,000 to buy it, and it's 3 acres of property. What was the address for it? Just
The address that you found
This is blank.
was
vacant lot.
442.
I'm sorry, give me 1 second. West 86th.
Okay.
So it's physical address in Texas with P.O. Box, California.
okay.
Probably a good time to stop. We'll start over on this side this time. Mike, what did you and or Terry learn tonight?
Lizards.
Lizards.
They're everywhere. Started talking about lizards, and she started talking about lizards. Next thing you know, we're all talking about lizards. We go down, we see lizards writing on grease boards. Lizards are everywhere. Harry has a new focus for his paranoia. The lizard people who are invading our lives and stealing our skins and masquerading as us. Any one of us. A lizard. So that's one thing Terry learned tonight. Terry also learned that the mayor might be a little shady. Shadier. What's going on there? Terry's gonna find out. Terry don't like it.
Right.
The other thing I found on is I can depend on Ross to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And
What?
Damn straight.
And he didn't betray me the moment I showed him my evidence, so I don't think he's one of the lizards.
No.
Anything, it was oh my god moment.
Whatever.
That's Bob's finger.
Whose finger is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is what Terry has learned. Oh, and that, yeah, the paranoia is really ramping up, especially after discovering the box. Terry wants to tear his own house apart.
I imagine that will probably happen between sessions. Okay, go ahead and add to experience.
And I got these two.
Gonna go ahead and cash them in for experience as well.
4 experience.
Total of 4. All right, Jake. What?
The fact that we've now heavily brought the lizard scenario into this section of the game has been very interesting because it's been based in so many other conspiracy theories. It's been very entertaining to me. I think it's fascinating. I think it's interesting that I'm picking up that there's important things like the water that's coming about. My paranoia is a little not quite as bad as Terry's, but it's peaking. So a little leery about more stuff than I had been. Being a little more on guard, that kind of stuff.
Hey, go ahead and put down to experience.
I'll let you have that back too.
Okay, and did you want to cash that in for anything?
Sure, might as well.
Okay, this is an inspiration one, so a line of thought on tracking down the guy who was in the photo other than the mayor's son would be
That was the guy that I saw, wasn't it?
yeah.
That's what I thought.
And you know that he was arrested, so there's going to be a criminal
Police
record.
report.
There's going to be a police report.
Okay. Well, I couldn't remember if I knew him, or if I just saw him on a glance.
You encountered him at a school, and you know which school he was at, so you would be able to, conceivably track down the police report.
Police reports are public.
The arrest
records.
report, public records.
Okay.
So you have a means of trying to track the guy down, above and beyond, just general streetwise stuff.
Okay.
So you've got a couple of different ways. Even if you fail, other people might be able to succeed.
Gotcha. So, is it safe to say I can tell the group about that?
Yeah, well, you'd already mentioned it to several of the people
Okay.
previously. It's just everybody glossed over the idea of talking to anybody involved in the photos.
Right. Okay.
I was kind of surprised that nobody wanted to talk to anyone in the photos. All right. So you got the 2 experience.
Yep.
You got that. Good.
Okay.
Lizards.
I don't have to be lizards.
You had to be lizards,
At least it wasn't snakes.
right?
True.
I think the mayor might be a lizard.
Yeah.
You don't know. Terry's got me on this way of thinking.
Maybe the
Um,
lizards.
Contagious.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Holy
lizards
cow.
have to drink a certain kind of water,
Yeah, and maybe,
and that's why they were
maybe the lizards like mulligans.
Right. That's a long way to go for a mulligan, man.
Well, I know, right?
right.
No, well, putting 2 and 2 together, with the water and the frogs, and of course him licking them. He licked a frog.
You'll be the last to die. No.
Yeah. You're gonna be the
I made
last.
friends.
Yeah.
No, just the complexity about the way, it's kind of twisted and turned. Here recently, kind of, well, yeah, there's more to meets the eye.
You're welcome.
Yeah, right?
Like Transformers.
Yeah, that too. But lizards.
But lizards.
Not.
Yeah.
They're making it more personal coming into our homes. That's another thing that I like. Not.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
feel a little violated.
Yeah, kind of violated. But this is what I've learned. They're trying to make it more personal and lizards.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and go with 2.
Okay.
Danny, what you or Gwen learned?
So, first thing Gwen learned
Come on, say it. Lizards.
was probably to not leave you guys alone again because you guys had to deal with lizards.
And on the bright side, they didn't just take the lizard finger and shove it in your face.
Right.
Like you did with the frogs, my first moment of
We are
showing.
maturing as a group.
Right? I showed you the finger from a distance.
Yeah. But learning very quickly she can't leave them alone for more than 5 minutes.
You're doing pretty good right now.
Gracias.
They haven't even pulled the gun on anybody since they left.
Um,
Let alone back their car into strangers.
Also, the different types of aliens and how we are assuming, or at least my character is assuming, that these lizard people are aliens. She's under that assumption. Also,
Or are they coming from the center of the earth?
figuring out the fingerprint, finally putting a skill to use that she hasn't been able to put to use in a hot minute.
Lizards?
Realizing that she overlooked the pictures and the talking with the people, because that is information that could help, because we don't know if he was paid to have those pictures be done, like if it was a bribe or if it was unknown or any of those factors.
There's a lot of...
He's in college. Kids in college experiment.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the guy on the street is not in college.
No, but
Oh.
the mayor's son is.
Yeah.
She also learned that sometimes it's better to take the conversation in the other room, so that way, let's say we find another room bugged, I don't blow it, so that we can actually use it to our advantage.
Good. Very, good pickup on that.
Wait.
Do you guys know someone's watching us? Wow.
Another thing is now she's going to be more concerned about her sister, because realizing that they tried to bug the house while she was in there, and realizing that they had drugged his dog, makes me concerned of what they were going to do to my
Drugs and
sister.
drugs, man.
Yeah.
Because
Sounds like CIA stuff to me.
she can't do much to defend herself.
Specialties.
She has karate classes. That's the extent of her self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
And handgun training.
Yeah.
The sister?
No, you.
She's talking
I'm
about
talking
Oh,
about
I'm
my
sorry.
sister.
I misunderstood that.
She and I did karate together. That's the extent of her self-defense.
Okay.
And it doesn't help that she's deaf.
What?
What?
Wow.
You guys are the worst.
So it's easier for them to sneak up on her, which also heightens my character's concern, which makes me so I'm not as willing to just abandon her randomly.
Dude, we can stomp loud. It's okay.
Right.
But speaking of, was she there while we were doing all of our research, or was she somewhere else?
What?
At Gwen's house?
She went over to a friend's. She was wanting to try to get away from the house for a while.
Okay.
It's not like she
So,
didn't hear what we were
My
talking
character's more than likely going to do
Right.
once,
Yeah,
if
she's
not
not
twice
gonna
a day,
eavesdrop.
calls to the friend's house to see how she's doing.
Okay.
She could look
You know, Danny, she's not going to eavesdrop.
Shut it.
She could lip drop.
Ooh.
She does lip reading. So she might.
But I think those are the key things that Gwen learned is better eye on her sister out of concern, now realizing that all of this stuff is coming home. And aliens. Lizards. And
was
before
funny.
I'm fully done, I'm going to use my last token.
Okay. An inspiration token.
Yes.
Uh,
So far, you've given me the inspiration of talk to people in photos and the registration and fingerprint.
I'm kind of inspired.
do a check on the blood work and anything else from the finger.
Oh,
You guys hadn't considered that one yet either.
blood work.
See if it
And
matches, you know, if there's a way of determining if it's Terran or if it's, you know, if it's, you know, fully carbon based or not. Things of that nature.
What if it's a lizard?
If it's a
So-
lizard, yes.
I will say my character's going to try and contact the scientist and say that she has some products she'd like to experiment on in the lab that he might be interested in.
Okay.
2 base pairs.
Hmm?
Make sure it has 2 base pairs versus
Yes.
7.
Well, and also we have that sample of water that he had grabbed to make sure.
Yep.
That ends my
Okay.
stuff.
Do extreme.
Perhaps so this is kind of metagaming, but and maybe I'm drawing lines that aren't there.
Lizards.
But we know that your character got abducted by Greys. We know that there's
Not
No.
everybody knows this.
That's what I'm
My
saying.
character did it.
So
That's the
Yeah,
main
he said
part.
metagaming.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you weren't here that day.
I didn't know that.
his
Yeah.
character
Yeah, you
was abducted as a kid, right?
Yes.
By
Oh.
Greys.
Okay, now I remember this.
We know that there's a second lizard alien type people in Europe, and that Greys are the American version or American aliens,
Because
right?
that's what I have
Known
discussed.
Right. So, I guess what I'm kind of going off of is like maybe that the Illuminati branch that we're dealing with is the lizard people. There's a different branch that's warring with them. It's the Greys that are going to come into play at some point in the future.
So you're
So
talking about
hypothesizing.
warring
Right.
factions of aliens?
Right.
That's actually, I like that. That's
So-
very cool. Good thinking about it. Stargate.
Using my fast talk, I think, is going to play a good role as far as like being able to talk to the mayor, because he was really pretty obstinate about not involving his son. But I mean, the whole thing's about his son. So, if we can't find the other guy, if he's been killed or whatever, which is a very good possibility as far as like tying up loose ends kind of a thing. I think that's probably going to be our best bet, figuring out what's going on with him. The whole thing with lizards having to do with like either a really dry or a moist environment was a good dot connected there too. So I really like that. I think that's going to play a big part
Yeah,
in
it
it.
popped into my head.
Fuck, there was something else I wanted to-
Probably something from my childhood.
The mayor, even though he was shocked, handled the news of everything that we gave him suspiciously well. Like, he wasn't like, "You guys are crazy, get out of here."
Yeah, he never accused anybody of being
Yeah,
crazy.
didn't he was very accepting of the ridiculousness
again-
that had gone on.
Then again, he is a part of the Freemasons.
Right. But
Which points to the possibility of, you know, having suspicions about the mayor.
mhm.
Suspicions are either the guy's crazy or he's connected to this weird stuff and has some interaction with it, or he's just, okay, you're crazy, but I don't want to tell you you're crazy because I want you to keep working on the stuff that we can focus on that I'm going to
Right.
believe.
Yeah.
So there's several options there.
Which is true, but I don't know. I just thought that it was very strange how he, I don't know, didn't seem to react. He did react, but like not in the way
Not
that
as
I
much as you
think
would expect.
Somewhat, yeah. Because even like just given like his immediate like reaction to hearing about the frogs and everything in general, he was like, "Yeah, wow, that's crazy," but like wasn't.
What?
Yeah. So.
You've got to know you. How can we believe you?
Get a winning mentality.
There you go.
I like it. To experience. I'm definitely enjoying the rabbit hole and you guys going down it. This has been a lot of fun.
We're jumping in at both feet.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I feel like any inspiration that you've given is
Yeah.
already been doled
you can
out.
get your own inspiration though.
If there's anything else you have to add.
See, something that your character specifically would be interested in because he has that suspicion over the mayor would be trying to do more of a background check on the mayor and seeing whether or not he has any ties to military, either for purposes of getting materials to try to track you himself, or see if those military style cutouts might be associated with his security detail.
Okay.
Another thing you might consider doing research on would be actually looking up the serial numbers, as you'd already discussed, regarding the bugs, as well as checking the radio equipment that was being used to receive, to see if there are any fingerprints, and maybe having Gwen check that, because there's a box that has a bunch of dials and buttons on it that was being used to listen in on your conversations. Somebody else had to touch that before you, and nobody thought about that one yet either.
With how they had described it, I had assumed that it was a no-go for me to be able to do any fingerprint testing. So that's why I didn't bring it up.
That wasn't taken directly from the American Autoduel Association. It was taken out of the car that was disturbingly like yours. When they had an altercation.
So they stole those equipment pieces? Not stole, but they took those equipment pieces?
Took one box that had,
So yeah.
Receiver.
yeah, it was a receiver.
So yeah, you guys could have me test it or whatever.
Yeah, it had a set of headphones attached to it. So yes, there was obviously other fingerprints possible to be on that. So you could have 2 or 3 sets of fingerprints to check.
So yeah, I wanna.
So the real question is, are they body snatchers that were going to be inputting new people into your life?
Or are we food?
Dun,
Well-
dun, dun!
Well, and then since I was thinking about it after he brought up how did the mayor know about my sister and everything, I want to know more about what's on my file that he has on me.
Okay.
Because I remember he had mentioned that he saw stuff about my parents that was redacted, and I want to see if he has access to any of that.
He'd mentioned that might be something that we
He
could
could-
look into, but it was one of those tit for tat things.
After we finish this thing, then he would start helping me with that.
Yeah.
So that is an incentive for my character because she's been trying for a while.
Yes.
So,
So
Yeah, there's some things that happen with gaps because players aren't able to make it for some sessions, and if people don't communicate those gaps.
well, and the redacted thing, my character didn't necessarily want to tell everyone.
Right.
Totally understand that.
But he certainly asked about. So, what do those files say about me? Which started everybody asking, well, what do you got on me?
Yeah.
And if you weren't there, he didn't talk about you other than Mr. Smith.
I'm interested in finding out what they have on the spook.
The spook.
Doc.
Yeah, Doc.
He's some three-letter agency. Hasn't quite ever fessed up which three-letter it is.
This has been Dice Shrapnel. If you enjoyed this content, please consider hitting the like, share, or subscribe buttons.